So I'm here with Eric Cohn, our Vice President of Strategic Business, which makes for a terrible acronym. Can't say that.
Yeah, you can't.
So when and why did you start here at RunSignup?
In 2016, Bob and Brian approached me to join the company, and I was fascinated by the opportunity. I had worked in the industry for about 10 years, had started a similar company and sold it. Brian actually was an employee of mine, so Brian was the one that had called me and asked me to come in and have a conversation with him and Bob. And we saw opportunities that I could come in and sort of ease some of the burden that Brian and Bob had of managing larger accounts and sales opportunities on that side. So here I am. What is it, 7 years later?
So what is your day-to-day like as the VPSB?
The VPSB does a lot of work on larger accounts, mostly top 100 road races, larger fundraising events, some of the larger charities that I work with. The goal is to make sure that they fully utilize our platform. A lot of them are complex, so there might be extra integrations, there might be extra features that we need to do. So I'm having conversations with our development team, Bruce, our VP of development, making sure that our larger accounts are getting the features needed to implement, and then it's not just one feature for one client, but that we implement it in a way that it can be used by the 30,000 events that use our platform. I do sales. I reach out. I get involved in a lot of sales, and a lot of times I'm included with larger opportunities for regional sales reps, or Brian will ask me to come in on a more complex sales process. So an organization that has integration needs or has a really complex setup, or maybe they have an RFP and I read over the RFP to make sure that it's a good fit for us and that here's how we would implement it. The more complex the actual opportunity is, the more I actually enjoy getting involved. Our platform is extremely complex, and the vast majority of our customers really only use a small percentage of the actual platform. So the larger ones, they start to unravel a lot of our features and then use more and more of the platform. And that allows me to jump in and go, hey, here's 5 other ways that you can also accomplish that same thing. So I love that part about it. And it is sales related. So sometimes I'm working with an existing customer to expand the use of our platform. Therefore, we're increasing revenue, but then sometimes I'm reaching out to potential customers and doing a lot of that outbound. The other thing that I do is I travel a lot. So if there's anyone in the organization besides Bob that's on the road, it would probably be me. So
you're actually meeting customers face to face?
Yeah, customers and potentials. So during the winter season, I'm probably on the road 1.5 months out of the 4 months.
And what is it like day to day with dealing with customers? How many do you deal with a day? How do you interact with them?
Some days are busy and I'm dealing with 10, 15 calls or emails or texts. Other days, I know that may not sound like much, but it is a complex need most of the time that they call me. So, it's usually 30 minutes to an hour for a more complex ask. And as such, I'm either working with that account manager to make sure that their needs are being met. I do a lot of actual account management with the larger ones. Their setups are very complex, so I'll be working with one of the account managers to make sure that we don't screw it up and make sure that the customer's happy and that the implementation will be successful for them. So on a normal day, I will deal with whether it's a setup of an event or the execution of the event. Therefore, it's check-in app or printing of labels or something of that nature. And then it could be anything from that to, we're setting up a new event and how do we do that? How do we use our platform? So I'm onboarding. In some cases, it is months of onboarding because it's a very complex client. So currently I'm dealing with one of the largest nonprofit fundraisers in the country and making sure that we have all the features that they need and adding tickets and then working with the development team to make sure that those tickets are implemented in a way that will lead to good success for long term.
So you're working on both RunSignup and TicketSignup stuff?
Yeah.
Now, what is TicketSignup for anyone watching who is just more familiar with RunSignup?
Sure. So, RunSignup is a registration platform. TicketSignup is going to be more ticketing. The ticketing platform would be something that is a quicker process, more mobile friendly in the sense that you can actually do it all on one page and do a Apple Pay without having to do tons of registration. So we're not collecting tons of information on people. Instead, we're just saying, hey, I want to buy 10 tickets. They can do a quantity of 10 and check out. Usually in about 30 seconds is a probably good estimate of time. Where registration, it is a one-on-one. You're going to register one person most of the time or two people, and you're collecting all that information on that one person or that second person.
And why would you suggest that someone use TicketSignup over any other platform out there?
So the one thing that is really beneficial is if you're coming to our platform and you already have a use of our platform from the RunSignup side, is that you already have a payment account with us. So now all of a sudden you can get right into the TicketSignup platform and use it. If you're new to RunSignup or TicketSignup, I think there's so many solutions and features that we have that will allow you to have a better ticketing solution. Free websites, free email, the integrations that we have with like EVVNT to promote your events, the referral programs that we have. You don't see that a lot on other ticketing platforms. So there is no real referral program for most ticketing platforms. And we know that that works on the RunSignup side. So we know that it works on the TicketSignup side that allows you to promote the event at no cost, really. So
now, with the multiple customers that you're dealing with day to day, how do you keep track of everyone's different event so that you know what they need and what their event is doing?
I have a crazy brain that allows me to do that. So, and then I lean on the account managers as well. So the account managers are great on our team. And a lot of times they remind me of little nuances that I need. Oh yeah, we need to make sure that this works this way. So we can't use this feature in that way, but we can use this other one in another. And the account managers are great at reminding me of little nuances. But for the most part, I've been in the industry for 17 years, and I know most of the organizations and how they execute, and therefore I can at least visualize how we would implement our software to the best of their needs, that they would be able to walk away knowing that they have a great solution.
Now, you talked about people just using a small part of RunSignup.
Yeah.
Are there features that you're seeing that you think, oh, I wish more people would use this? Like, this is a really good feature to help promote their race or grow their race?
Seeing that we have about 2,000 domains hosted right now, and we have 30,000-ish events, to me, that's probably the number one thing, is that I talk to a lot of organizations that spend a lot of money on WordPress or other solutions, and ours is free. So you can bring a domain name to our platform. You can set up that website, and it looks really pretty. It's integrated with either the ticketing solution or the registration solution. And now all of a sudden, you cut your cost. You have a great looking website that's easy to maintain. You don't have to worry about it year over year over year. You're updating your pricing, you're updating the event dates and all that information, and it's right there on the website. So when we look at some of the current websites that are out there, they can be 1980s websites or 1990s websites. There's not mobile friendly. There's no integration with the registration or ticketing solution. It doesn't look really pretty. And when you can have a free website from our platform, to me, it's an easy one that everyone should really consider.
Now, what do you think the greatest strength is of the sales team and also the account management team, because you work kind of closely with both?
Strength on the sales side is that we know our product pretty darn well, and therefore we don't oversell or overpromise. Like, that is one of the things that's very tough to understand, is that when we come into a sale, we're not selling the future. We're selling what we can do right now. And that allows us to be very confident that we're going to have a good execution on the technology side. So instead of going, hey, we have that coming in 5 years, it's like, we can do that right now. Here's how we would do that. And a lot of our pitches and conversations are that way. It is literally, here's how we would implement your event, and it would work great. The larger ones that can be more complex, yeah, there are tickets that are needed. And the cool thing for us is that on the development side, we do 2,000 or more releases every year and do a lot of work. The other thing that I think is great on our account management side is they get a good, warm introduction to the new client through the sales process. So a lot of times I will include an account manager later on in the actual conversation, even if we haven't won the business, so that they start to understand what needs to be done and how we're going to get it done. And then once the commitment is there, the account managers can lift and teach and do all sorts of Google Meet or Zoom meetings with these people, and the training is just amazing. And then you yourself produce a ton of great content. It makes our lives
He's reading
easier.
from a script.
I'm not, not at all. It's the honest truth. We have use cases that we write. We have tons of content that is just produced, and that content does lead to more sales opportunities for us and an easier sales, because now all of a sudden they're like, hey, I already read the how-to on this, or I watched the video on how to do this, but now I need to know more about the platform. So the one feature that I needed, I know you have. Can you tell me why I should use you? And I've had that happen. They're like,
cool.
That is one of the easiest parts about sales, is when they are so interested, they actually consume our content, our knowledge base, before they even come to the table and ask to talk. So I've had that happen just in the last 3 months with a very large opportunity. So it's great.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So you all had the sales meeting today. What is the benefit of doing that twice a year, right?
Yeah, so we come together twice a year. Since we are not all in one place, it is beneficial to bring everyone together, the account managers, the sales team, some of the executives are there, so Bob and Kevin and Brian. And what it does is allows us to get a company update. It allows us to sort of cross-discuss what's working on the account management team and the sales team, and those teams get to commingle a little bit more, because we used to be one team and we'd have one meeting every week, and now we don't have those type of meetings. So instead we do it twice a year, bring everyone together, get hugs and have conversations, get together afterwards at dinner and lunch and have conversations that you normally wouldn't be able to have during the week. From a sales execution standpoint on the sales side, it does give us the ability to truly train and talk about how we can better execute as a sales team, where we're weak, and potentially giving feedback to Bob and Bruce and Kevin on opportunities for us to improve the organization. So that is one other benefit of RunSignup that I love, is the feedback loop, and how I talk about being able to go back to the developers. The feedback loop is something that is important for us as an organization, and this is part of that, where the account managers and the sales team can go, hey, this is something that we're hearing pretty consistently. Can we address it? Whether it's really technology, or maybe it could be how we manage organizations, or how we manage renewals came out of not this one, but the one before, which is, hey, we need the account managers to be more active in reaching out. So those are the type of things that we're trying to improve the organization, and the every 6-month gathering allows us to do that.
Now, do you have any fun stories or funny stories from working here at RunSignup?
I have a funny one that just happened. So we have an opportunity to win a larger account, and Brian will bring me in on sales calls every once in a while. And one of the executive directors for the organization that we're pitching knew me personally from a prior job, and he starts raving about why they want to use RunSignup, because the guy knew me. It was like a reference check. So Brian doesn't like that usually, because he would much rather sell technology and the solution. And you could actually see that Brian's
We
like,
have Eric come.
yeah, Brian's like, Eric is not worth this call. Like, it is not about Eric. This is about RunSignup. So I do love when I can ruffle feathers with Brian every once in a while, because it is. I know it's not about me at all. It is really about great technology, and that if anything, it is about supporting it. So I'm there to support our clients, and the account managers do a great job as well.
Well, thanks for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.